Hello everyone, I'm here to bring you Beetrooper deck file post Burst of Destiny. We got a few new supports. A lot of it are unfortunately not that great, but there's at least 2 good cards. So, let's see how it affected the deck. A little bit. It helps a little bit, not gonna lie. So we are starting off first with 3 Resonance Insects. Bread and butter basically. Adds, foolishes, you go through all 3 in a turn now essentially with the new support. As long as you open it up as a starter, it's pretty good. We are going into 3 Scout Buggies. You can use this as a starter. You kind of want to not use it until later on the turn, so that way you can make Cicada King. But yep, 3, one of the best guys. 3 Scale Bombers. This guy chain blocks your Scout Buggy and any other of your on normal summon effects. 3 up mandatory. We are playing 1 of the new Assault Roller and 1 Aztekipede, which is basically, well, Assault Roller is basically Aztekipede, but it's not expensive. It's now a common. But yeah, 1 of each. They're good. They still provide you an insect body in the grade, so you can banish or recycle. So we play 1 of each. Also, you can normal summon Assault Roller as well. You don't have to special it only. We have 3 Sting Lancers. Sting the Poison. Also, 1 of your best normal summons. It impulses you, grabs you extenders, and you can bring it back on your opponent's turn for an imperm effect. 3 Bullseyes, minus 200 for each one that you have on the field. Great extender. We are playing 2 Twin Bow. It's basically an extender just like Bullseye, except for it locks you to Insect Extra Deck for the rest of the turn, which means you can't climb into Axis Code or Zeus. So we play 2, it's not as good. Also, since we got the new Roller guy, you can cut 1 of those for it. We are then playing the 1 of these. Normal summon, you can revive something, search it off during your opponent's turn using Sting the Poison, so you get follow-up. Playing the 1 Goki Pull. Dump it with Resonance Insects. Get your insects, get another Resonance Insects. Good stuff. We're playing 1 Retaliating Seed. This is optional. You could play other things, but this is very good against any kind of meta that does play polys, fusions, special summons from deck. And it can just hard lock out certain matchups. But it's also just a decent normal summon because you gotta search off of it. So it's still good regardless, but we just play 1. Now play for the high stuff. We have Doomdozer. You search off Resonance Insect, banish it, extend. It's not that good anymore in today's age because you don't want to have your opponent mill from their deck. We are playing 2 Sting Lancer. Normally, I would love to play 3 Sting Lancer because it's basically a better call by the grave. It replaces the monster that you would have gotten hand trapped on, and then it pluses you. Search the counter trap or search the field spell, which pluses you even more. But because of all the new stuff support and all the higher level stuff, we have to cut it down to 2. We are playing new Neptune. You can special summon it by returning 3 banished insect monsters back into the main deck, not the extra deck. It has to be main deck only. And this is very important because not only does it give you grind game, but it allows you to summon Scary Moth going first instead of waiting for your opponent's turn now. Because basically during the end phase, you use this, you give an attack buff, and then this can proc Cicada King, which will summon Moth from the graveyard. So now you don't have to wait for your opponent's turn to do something in order to Cicada King negate and then bring out Moth. You can just immediately summon it out. And then 1 Godarla. Just searchable kaiju. It's kind of like Cyber Dragon, you just always play it. Then for standard hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Droll. Drolls could be Veilers or Nibiru's or anything else. We are playing Beetrooper formation, just the one copy, then the one call by the grave, of course. You could play crossouts. Crossouts are up for debate. It's still very being tested on right now, meta-wise. Whether you want to main deck it, side deck it, and then you play the one of all the hand traps, especially if you're afraid of Nibiru. But right now, we're just sticking with this. But crossout designator is pretty good. Playing the one copy of Flying Sting, searchable, and then 3 affirms to round off 9 going second cards. For the extra deck, we have 2 copies of Armorhorn, 2 copies of Picoflania. Basically, these are just going to loop each other so that you always have them available. You don't have to play 3. Just 2 is fine. 2 Atlas, 1 Papillion, 1 Almirage for the case that you like normal summon Resonance Insect, you don't have any extender, so you just link off into it, search for something, it comes up. We're playing the 1 Access Code Talker. Normally, you would be insect locked by either your on-field Beetroopers or Twin Bow, but in the case where you can make Papillion and climb into this, it's great. Even if it's just popping 1 card. It's one of your ways you're going to get around things. We are then playing 1 Cicada King. Basically negates any monster effects on the field, and then you can revive something, either from your hands or graveyard. And it switches battle position, so they're not going to attack over for damage. Usually you're going to make this off of the buggies. We are also playing a copy of Giga Brilliant as a rank 3 insect. It gives itself a small attack boost, but that's mainly so you don't insect block you with buggies to go into a Zeus. You never know, it can come up. It's always options. And then there's basically 3 non-mandatory extra deck spots, so I just put 1 of each of the Beetrooper synchros. It comes up. You can either use it to get over something that's too high attack, or you can attack twice for a quick OTK. And then let's go to the combo. Alright, so basically combo is standard 2 cards as usual with this deck. Resonance Insects and any special summon. So normal summon Resonance Insects, special summon anything like, yeah, it could be anything really. And then we're going to link these 2 off for our Armorhorn. Resonance Insects will search you a Doom Dozer. And then you will summon the Doom Dozer, bashing both. And the Resonance Insect effects will dump Goki Pole. If I can find it, there it is. And then that's going to add another Resonance Insect to hands. And now you're going to use the effects of Armorhorn, some Resonance Insects, and link these 2 off. For Picoflania. And now you're going to get Chain Links. Chain Link 1 Resonance Insect to add. And Chain Link 2 Pico to discard any card in your hands. And equip a Resonance Insect from deck. This way you don't get Ash on the Resonance Insect. They didn't already Ash you for whatever reason. So this is going to equip to the Armorhorn. And then Resonance add. We are going to get the Neptune. Now, we do have 3 insects in the grave. We could get a card draw, but we are going to need those later on. So fortunately, since our graveyard is not stacked enough, we will just keep climbing. So we make Atlas. And Resonance Insect effects, we are going to search for our Sting Lancer, which will sit in our hand as a disruption for the next turn. Now we will activate Armor Horn Engraved to banish 3. We're gonna banish both Residences and the Doom Dozer. To revive itself. And now we are going to get both Residence Insects effects. We are going to now dump the Scary Moth. Very spooky Scary Moth. And a Sting the Poison as optional follow-up, essentially. So now that that's out of the way, we will summon out our boy, the Neptune, by bringing these 3 back. 1, 2, and we'll keep one of these that's a bench. We'll just do the Doom Dozer so it can cycle back. Put these back into the deck, summon it out. And now we will use discard effects. Tribute this off. We want to keep this guy on the field until the end phase. So we're going to get our Buggy Boys. Get 1 Buggy Boy effect, another Buggy Boy. And then we are going to overlay these for our Cicada King in attack mode. Kind of important they put in attack because we're going to switch it back to defense afterwards. So essentially during the end phase, this is going to activate, giving any of these guys attack really. Get 1,000 attack boost, and then we're going to negate it, our own effects, by doing this. And switch it back to defense position for our opponent's turn, and then that's going to activate to special summon the Scary Moth. And you can either put in attack, defense, got more defense, so obviously you want to put in defense just in case to play around Lightning Storm or something. So basically you have a El Shaddai window. Your opponent can only special summon once during their turn, as well as you. Oh no, or is it just your opponent? I think it's just your opponents. No, it's each player. Okay, so you're basically Shaddai windowing, but you only need 1 summon on your turn as well for this, essentially. And then your opponent only gets 1 special summon. You still have a monster negate in this, and then this is going to essentially shuffle back something in your opponent's graveyard if they try to do any kind of extender plays. So it's pretty good. Window alone in like Dogmatic or Shaddai invoked is really a game winner by itself. So this is basically the same exact thing, but better. Like the only thing they really have to do is like they need the hard imperm or drop with their Dark Ruler, but then you still have this as follow-up essentially. And from here you can get formation if you want to extend, you can get the counter trap. But chances are, if they don't hard open any of those, they're going to have a really hard time. So yeah, it's basically it. And then if by any chance your opponent can't deal with this board, you can switch, you'll be able to switch this to attack, special summon this out, and that'll search you for the R Blast, the level 4 Beetrooper, or the Beetrooper, Battle Wasp. And then you can make a Synchro 6. Or you can bring out the level 3 extender and make the Synchro 5. And you can basically just do whatever you want. So yeah, pretty much. You have resources, extenders, literally everything. That's basically it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Side deck wise, you can run rivalries, extra Godarla Kaijus. You can run Contact C if it's good for the matchup. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.